As we move into the later chapters of our lives, we naturally crave a sense of comfort, connection, and respect from the people around us. These golden years are meant to be a time of laughter, peace, and meaningful relationships, the rewards of a life well lived. We look forward to long conversations with family, joyful reunions with old friends, and the simple comfort of being truly understood. But sometimes, without even realizing it, we might fall into habits that quietly push people away. Not because we mean to, of course. In fact, these habits often feel harmless to us, even familiar. Yet to those around us, our children, our grandchildren, our friends, they can feel heavy, tiring, even a little uncomfortable. The hardest part is that most people won't say anything. They stay silent, hoping to avoid hurt feelings or awkward confrontations. Not because they don't care, but because they care so much. And so, slowly, the silence builds a small distance. A little at a time, the space between grows wider. Not from one big mistake, but from 100 small moments no one talks about. It's a silent drift, one that can sneak up on even the closest of relationships. The truth is, none of us are perfect, and as we grow older, it's easy to get a little more set in our ways. But if we stay open, if we listen with the same kindness we hope to receive, we give ourselves the chance to keep those important connections strong. A sincere suggestion, even if it's hard to hear, can be a gift, a way to keep love, laughter, and closeness alive. So today, let's take a gentle, honest look at ourselves. Let's uncover 5 small habits that many of us fall into without realizing it. Habits that, once noticed, can be reshaped for the better. Because sometimes, just a little more awareness can make all the difference in keeping the people we love closer, longer. 1. Communication habits, a bridge or a barrier. The way we communicate says so much about who we are, and as we move into our later years, it becomes even more important to maintain thoughtful, respectful, and engaging conversations. Good communication can be a bridge that keeps us connected to our loved ones, while poor communication, sometimes unintentional, can create walls of misunderstanding and distance. Sadly, many older adults, without realizing it, may fall into certain communication patterns that push others away instead of drawing them closer. One common habit is repeatedly telling the same old stories. It's natural to reflect on memories that have brought us joy or pride. But when these stories are told over and over without considering the interest of the listener, it can cause frustration, especially among younger family members who have heard the same tale many times. Instead of strengthening bonds, repetitive storytelling may make conversations feel stale and predictable, leading others to disengage. Another pitfall is excessive complaining. As we age, it's understandable to have health concerns or frustrations with how things are changing around us. However, when conversations become dominated by complaints, it can create a negative atmosphere. People, especially younger generations, may begin to associate time spent with us as emotionally draining rather than uplifting. Maintaining a balance, sharing concerns while also highlighting positive experiences helps keep relationships fresh and enjoyable for everyone involved. The tendency to impose personal opinions is another habit that can unintentionally alienate others. Many seniors have a wealth of experience and wisdom, but when advice or viewpoints are offered in a way that feels forceful or dismissive of differing perspectives, it can lead to resentment. Rather than promoting understanding, such conversations often spark defensiveness or silence. Encouraging open dialogue, asking for others' opinions, and being willing to listen without judgment goes a long way in building mutual respect. Listening itself is a powerful and sometimes overlooked component of communication. Too often, conversations become one-sided, where one person speaks without truly listening to the other. Active listening, showing genuine interest, asking thoughtful questions, and responding with care, makes others feel valued. Especially in our senior years, being a good listener can endear us to family and friends and keep our relationships vibrant. At times, speaking without considering the tone or choice of words can also be problematic. Using harsh, sarcastic, or vulgar language, even if meant humorously or casually, can make others uncomfortable. What might have been acceptable in past social settings may no longer be received the same way today. Language evolves, and being mindful of our words shows emotional intelligence and respect for the feelings of others. Another subtle but impactful habit is sharing stories or comments that feel outdated or out of touch with the present times. It's easy to reminisce about the good old days, but telling stories that no longer resonate with younger audiences, or worse, that inadvertently offend modern sensibilities, can create a sense of disconnection. Bridging the generational gap means being aware of what interests others today, showing curiosity about their lives, and adapting our stories to find common ground. Poor communication habits, even if minor, can slowly erode the quality of our relationships. While family members and friends often understand and forgive occasional missteps, repeated behaviors may lead them to withdraw, limit interactions, or feel hesitant about engaging in deeper conversations. The beauty of communication is that it can always be improved. With a little awareness and willingness to adjust how we interact, we can transform our words into powerful tools that draw others closer, nurture warmth and understanding, and keep our cherished relationships thriving well into the later chapters of life. 2. Social behavior. Opening doors or closing hearts. The way we interact with others, especially in our senior years, speaks volumes about the kind of people we are. Our attitudes and behaviors become the lasting impressions we leave on those around us. While age brings wisdom and a lifetime of experiences, it can also sometimes make us more rigid without even realizing it. Small shifts in behavior and mindset can make a profound difference in how we are perceived and treated by family, friends, and even strangers. One behavior that can cause discomfort is becoming too involved in the personal lives of others. Offering advice or showing concern comes from a place of love, but when it crosses the line into controlling or meddling, it can create tension. Younger family members, in particular, value their independence and decision-making. When we insert ourselves into their choices without being asked, it can make them feel criticized or disrespected. Maintaining a supportive role rather than a directive one helps preserve trust and keeps relationships strong and respectful. Another common tendency is an unwillingness to adapt or accept change. The world has changed rapidly in recent decades, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed or even skeptical about new ways of thinking and doing things. However, resisting change or constantly insisting that the old way was better can make conversations feel strained. It may unintentionally signal to others that we are closed off to new ideas or unwilling to grow. Staying open-minded, showing curiosity, and embracing new experiences not only keep our minds young, but also encourage deeper bonds across generations. Keen awareness is also needed when it comes to self-presentation in social settings. Excessive boasting or bragging, even if light-hearted, can quickly become a source of irritation for those around us. It's natural to be proud of our achievements and the lives we've built. But when conversations focus too heavily on personal accomplishments without showing genuine interest in others, it can come across as self-centered. True connection grows when we celebrate others as much as we share our own stories, creating an atmosphere of mutual admiration and warmth. Another social misstep that often goes unnoticed is making comments about others' appearances, lifestyles, or choices in a way that lacks sensitivity. What might have been considered playful teasing in the past may now feel intrusive or even hurtful. Comments about someone's weight, clothing, relationships, or career decisions, even when meant jokingly, can strike a nerve. Choosing kindness and focusing on positive, affirming remarks helps nurture confidence and goodwill in those around us. In many ways, our attitude is a mirror reflecting our inner spirit. A positive, adaptable, and respectful attitude can draw others in, while stubbornness, insensitivity, or self-centeredness can quietly push them away. In today's diverse and fast-paced society, showing empathy, listening with an open heart, and respecting different viewpoints are powerful ways to remain deeply connected with the people we love. Adjusting our behavior doesn't mean giving up who we are or silencing our voices. It means learning to express ourselves in ways that honor both our life experience and the feelings of others. It's about balancing wisdom with humility, sharing our journeys without overshadowing the journeys of those around us. In doing so, we don't just maintain social bonds, we enrich them, ensuring that we continue to be valued, loved, and cherished for the wonderful individuals we are. 3. Neglecting self-care, living simply or losing your sense of worth. Personal hygiene and appearance may seem like small details in the grand picture of life, but they carry a much deeper meaning, especially as we age. How we care for ourselves sends a message not just to the world, but to our own hearts. It reflects self-respect, pride, and consideration for those around us. Yet sometimes without realizing it, older adults may begin to overlook these aspects, leading to discomfort for themselves and those they interact with. Neglecting personal hygiene is more common than many like to admit. Health issues, physical limitations, or even a gradual loss of motivation can make daily grooming feel like a burden. However, clean clothes, regular bathing, brushing hair and teeth, all these routines are important not just for physical health, but for emotional well-being. When we maintain good hygiene, we feel better, more confident, and more energized. It also reassures loved ones and caregivers that we are taking active steps to care for ourselves, reducing their worry and reinforcing mutual respect. Appearance, too, plays a role in social connection. Dressing appropriately for different occasions shows that we care about how we present ourselves to others. While comfort should always be a priority, overly sloppy or disheveled clothing can send unintended messages. It may suggest a lack of interest in the event, the company, or even life itself. Choosing neat, clean, and seasonally appropriate clothing not only boosts our self-esteem, but also signals to others that we value their presence and the time we are spending together. Another sensitive but important topic is avoiding creating unpleasant situations through neglect, such as strong body odor or unkempt grooming. These issues, though understandable due to health challenges, can create barriers in social settings. People may hesitate to initiate close interactions, leading to feelings of isolation or embarrassment. Seeking support when needed, whether from family members, homeaides, or health professionals, can make a big difference. Accepting a little help in maintaining personal care is not a sign of weakness. It's a form of self-love and respect for the relationships we cherish. Beyond hygiene and clothing, attention to small details like trimming nails, keeping shoes clean, and tidying hair can seem insignificant, but they all contribute to how comfortable others feel around us. It's a form of silent communication that says, "I respect myself and I respect you." In addition, adapting our appearance to current times shows flexibility and connection with the world today. While it's natural to prefer classic styles or familiar routines, being open to small updates, such as a new haircut or a brighter wardrobe choice, can refresh not only how we are seen, but how we feel inside. It demonstrates vitality, adaptability, and an ongoing enthusiasm for life. Taking care of our hygiene and appearance is ultimately not about vanity, it's about dignity. It's a way to honor the lives we've lived and to continue showing up in the world with pride, grace, and vitality. It's about preserving our individuality while fostering meaningful, positive interactions with those who matter most. When we put thought and care into our personal presentation, we send a powerful, silent message that life is still something to celebrate, that every meeting and moment matters, and that no matter our age, we remain active, engaged, and deeply connected to the beautiful rhythm of living. If you're still watching and enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have a story or a bit of wisdom you'd like to share, don't be shy. We're all ears. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Just click that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a thing. Every bit of your support helps us keep bringing you more uplifting stories and helpful tips. Thanks for being part of our Elder Bliss family. We're so glad you're here. 4. Public behavior. Expression of freedom or disregard for others. How we behave in public spaces leaves a lasting impression, not just on those who know us, but on complete strangers as well. Our actions in restaurants, parks, gatherings, and even small community events reflect not only our character, but also the values we hold dear. In our golden years, being mindful of our public behavior is more important than ever. It shows that we remain proud ambassadors of courtesy, kindness, and respect, no matter how the world around us changes. Sometimes, without realizing it, older adults may slip into habits that feel natural but are perceived differently by others. For instance, during family gatherings, community events, or church services, moments of unintentional rudeness can occur. Interrupting conversations, dominating discussions, or being impatient when things don't go as expected can create tension. Even if these behaviors stem from excitement or eagerness to participate, they may unintentionally disrupt the flow of the event. Taking a breath, allowing space for others to speak, and showing patience reflects a deep well of wisdom and respect for the group as a whole. Another challenge that often goes unnoticed is the way we move through public spaces. Sometimes moving too slowly, blocking walkways, or standing in doorways can cause inconvenience to others without meaning to. On the other hand, moving abruptly or without awareness in crowded areas can create small but impactful disturbances. Being mindful of our physical presence, whether that means stepping aside when needed, keeping to the right on sidewalks, or allowing faster pedestrians to pass, shows thoughtfulness and earns quiet admiration from others. It signals that we recognize and respect the shared nature of public spaces. Speaking loudly or using language that might be considered inappropriate is another area to watch closely. In bustling environments like restaurants or waiting rooms, it's easy to raise our voices without realizing it. Hearing difficulties or excitement can make this understandable, but others may perceive it as disruptive. Additionally, casual or outdated language that once seemed harmless might now be seen as insensitive or offensive in today's more inclusive society. Choosing our words carefully and keeping our volume in check help preserve the dignified, warm image we want to project. The essence of behaving well in public lies in patience, flexibility, and a genuine respect for everyone we encounter. By being considerate of others' space, time, and feelings, we create a ripple effect of kindness that not only uplifts those around us, but also circles back to us in the form of respect, appreciation, and warmth. Politeness in this way is like a well-tended garden. It may take time and awareness to cultivate, but the beauty it produces is timeless. Good manners never go out of style, and they become even more precious as society grows more fast-paced and distracted. A simple act like holding a door, offering a kind smile, or waiting our turn with patience speaks volumes about our character. These small moments of courtesy show that even as the world rushes on, there are still those among us who carry the light of thoughtfulness and grace. By holding ourselves to these standards, we do more than set a good example. We enrich our own lives. We nurture connections with strangers, neighbors, and family members alike. We demonstrate that age is not a barrier to growth, kindness, or influence. Instead, it is a badge of honor, a testament to the lifelong journey of learning and caring for those around us. When we act with humility and attentiveness in public spaces, we affirm something beautiful, that dignity and respect are gifts we can offer freely, and in doing so, we inspire others to live a little more gently too. 5. Respecting personal boundaries, giving space, earning respect. One of the greatest gifts we can offer others at any age is the gift of personal space. As we grow older, it's natural to cherish conversation, to crave interaction, and to wish for more time with loved ones. Yet it's equally important to recognize the invisible lines that define each person's comfort zone. Understanding and respecting these personal boundaries shows emotional intelligence, empathy, and deep maturity, strengthening the relationships we value most. A slight step back, crossed arms, or a hesitant smile can signal that someone needs a little more space or privacy at that moment. By being attentive and responsive to these small signs, we show that we are respectful, considerate companions who enhance rather than overwhelm social situations. Respecting boundaries doesn't mean withdrawing or becoming distant. It simply means allowing space for others' choices, feelings, and rhythms to exist alongside our own. It means celebrating the autonomy of our children, grandchildren, friends, and even strangers without feeling diminished or hurt when their path diverges from ours. In doing so, we foster relationships built on trust, love, and genuine connection. To illustrate just how important this can be, let me share a story that many might find familiar and a little cautionary. Mr. Leonard, a warm and lively 78-year-old, loved spending time with his family. He had a heart full of advice and a mind rich with experiences, and he felt it was his duty to guide his adult grandchildren through every challenge they faced. Whenever they visited, he would pepper them with questions about their careers, finances, and personal lives, often offering lengthy opinions on what they should do differently. Though he meant well, his constant probing and advice eventually made the younger family members uncomfortable. They started visiting less often, staying for shorter periods, and sometimes even avoiding his calls. One day, after noticing that an entire holiday season had passed with only brief phone conversations, Leonard's daughter gently explained that while everyone loved him dearly, they sometimes felt overwhelmed by his intensity. She shared that what the family truly desired was not more advice, but simply more time together, laughing, sharing memories, and feeling accepted. Humbled, Leonard took her words to heart. He practiced listening more and advising less. He focused on simply being present and joyful with his family, without trying to steer their lives. Slowly, the visits became longer again, filled with warmth, laughter, and mutual respect. Leonard learned that sometimes the best way to love others is to give them the space to be exactly who they are. This story reminds us all that even the kindest intentions can sometimes cross invisible boundaries. But with awareness and a willing heart, we can adjust, heal, and create even stronger bonds with those we treasure most. Growing older is a beautiful journey filled with memories, wisdom, and experiences that have shaped who we are today. Yet, just as life teaches us lessons along the way, it also offers opportunities for continued growth, even in our golden years. By taking a moment to reflect on our habits, from the way we communicate to how we present ourselves and interact with others, we allow ourselves the chance to strengthen the relationships that mean the most to us. It's easy to fall into familiar patterns without realizing the effect they may have on those around us. Sharing stories that have brought us joy, offering guidance to loved ones, or sticking to routines that have served us well for decades are all part of who we are. But small adjustments, listening more intently, respecting boundaries, being mindful of our words and actions, can make a world of difference in keeping our connections vibrant and loving. At its core, these changes are not about losing ourselves or suppressing our personalities. They are about honoring both our life experiences and the people who walk alongside us today. They are about finding a balance between sharing the richness of our past and embracing the ever-changing world around us with curiosity, openness, and grace. The truth is, kindness, patience, and respect never go out of style. When we communicate thoughtfully, maintain our dignity through self-care, and treat public spaces with courtesy, we show not only our loved ones, but also ourselves, that we are still active participants in life, willing to learn, to adapt, and to continue growing. Perhaps most importantly, these small acts of consideration become gifts in themselves. They create an atmosphere where family and friends feel comfortable, where laughter flows freely, and where memories, both old and new, can be cherished without judgment or discomfort. They pave the way for deeper conversations, more meaningful time together, and a renewed sense of connection that enriches everyone involved. As we reflect on these ideas, it's helpful to remember that it's never too late to make changes that improve our relationships and our daily lives. Every step we take toward becoming more mindful of our habits is a step toward preserving the love, respect, and joy we share with others. So, as you move forward, consider what small adjustments might help you bridge gaps, spark new connections, or simply bring a little more peace into your interactions. Whether it's pausing to listen more closely, embracing change with an open heart, or allowing others the space to live life on their own terms, these thoughtful choices can transform not only your relationships, but also your own sense of fulfillment. In the end, our golden years can be just as full of growth and connection as any other stage of life, if we're willing to nurture them with the same care and kindness we've always given to others. And in doing so, we leave behind a legacy of love, respect, and grace that will be remembered for generations to come. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with others. And please subscribe to the channel. It's a huge motivation for me to keep creating more helpful and inspiring content for you.